Welcome to Detail Garage. So today we have this Audi A4, and this car has a lot of bugs all over it. I mean, this car drove over about, I think, 800 miles or so it has a lot of bugs that have been built up. Not only that, the bugs sat on this car for a few days, so those bugs are starting to etch on and they're starting to really work themselves into the paint. So today we're going to remove them using Bug and Tar. So Bug and Tar is a solvent which helps you remove those bugs. So in order for us to remove these bugs, we're going to start prepping using our professional spray bottle and our Bug and Tar. So I'm gonna add about 1 ounce. It's about 1 ounce. And let's seal this up. So now bugs, when they stick onto a vehicle, they stick on there pretty good and it's pretty hard to get them out. So in order for me to save time, I'll be using the 2-bucket method and a spray bottle. So while I spray down the front end of the vehicle, it's gonna help loosen up those bugs. So let's start. So while that's settling in, it's gonna help loosen up a lot of the bugs that have been etched onto the paint. So while that sits, let's start off with our 2 buckets. So I got our little dirt traps here. So we're gonna use a 2-bucket method to help remove a lot of those bugs and make sure we don't scratch the surface. That's one of the biggest problems when it comes to taking off bugs from the vehicle. So we'll have those settling in. I have the Ultimate Chenille Wash Mitt. Has a chenille side on one side and it has a nice bug sponge on the other side. So now we're gonna put about 2 ounces of our Bug and Tar into the bucket. There you go. So now, while that sits in there, this is loosening up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get our chenille wash mitt. I'm gonna dip it into the solution, help mix it up a little bit. And this is gonna be our soap bucket. Make sure I get it in there. All right, so this is the tricky part. So since there's a lot of bugs on here right now, I'm not gonna start scrubbing right away because I am gonna scratch it if I start scrubbing and start agitating. So I gently wanna go over the surface and start removing a lot of the loose bugs. And it's very, very important that you go in straight lines right here and work in very small sections. So as you can see here, these are all the bugs that have been coming off. And as you can see, they came off very, very easily. And these are bugs that have been sitting on there for a while. So I'm gonna go into my rinse bucket, dip it in, use the dirt trap to help loosen up a lot of those bugs. And this is pretty gross because there's a lot of bugs coming up on the water. Normally I would rinse this out of the bucket, but since we're indoors, I don't wanna make a mess. And the dirt trap does a very, very good job at not picking up any kind of, contaminants or bringing them back up to the surface. So I'll go back into my soap bucket in here and repeat the same process throughout the whole front end. Okay. So again, bring it out. See, there's no bugs here anymore. Go back into my soap bucket. Do the last part. I'm trying not to get too much water onto the floor because that's more cleanup for me. It's a snake-like pattern. And yeah, most of these bugs are coming off pretty easy. There is some areas where I have to get a little bit more aggressive and use the bug net side, which is perfect to demonstrate how well this cleans. So again, lots of bugs. Dip it into my rinse bucket, which is gross. All right, so now I'm gonna flip this over. I can flip this band over, which is awesome because now I can start getting aggressive. So again, back into my soap bucket. And now we're gonna start scrubbing. And when you scrub, again, you're doing it in straight lines, applying minimal amount of pressure because Bug and Tar does the job by itself. And as you can see, it traps all the bugs within these holes right here. Perfect. So what you do now is you repeat this process until you get all the bugs out. If you still have some bugs that are, etched onto the surface itself, you may want to, apply a little bit of pressure, but again, you're going to be rubbing in straight lines, that way you don't scratch the surface. So now that the bug and tar has been used to remove a lot of the bugs and tar off this vehicle, I'm going to take this wash sponge, leave it back in there for now. And now it's time for us to neutralize the solution. So to neutralize it, you can, hose it down with water. Obviously, we don't have access to water in here. We want to make less of a mess than we already have. So we're going to be using a quick detail spray. So just grab any one of your favorite quick detail sprays to help neutralize this. That way you get a nice slick finish. And when you dry it off, it's also going to dry off nice, slick, very shiny. Just the way we like it. So let that settle in a little bit. Grab your microfiber towel and start wiping. And then once you get enough on one side, you always flip over. Pick up any kind of bugs or anything that may have been hiding between these grills that I couldn't necessarily get my wash sponge into. At the same time, we're kind of drying it off. All right, there you go. The bumper's nice and dry. It's bug-free, which is a great thing. And again, if the bugs don't come off using the wash sponge, you could apply a little bit more pressure. Or if the bugs have been sitting on here for like more than 5 days, maybe over a week, they're gonna embed themselves on there pretty hard. So you might wanna try a clay bar method to help remove those as well. So for the purposes of this video, this vehicle is bug-free. Bug and Tar did its job, and it did a great job. It's very easy to use, very effective.